But she goes into fluff talk about the birds flying in the sky. Okay, no, she doesn't talk about the birds flying in the sky, but she might as well be because nothing she says in a sentence connects. Hi guys, welcome to Rated TV. My name is Glennis, and you guys know you can always call me G. Hey guys, welcome back to the season finale of Ready to Love Season 3. Guys, this is the last episode before the exciting reunion. Today's episode is called Love Is Not Calling. I'm kidding, guys. Episode was entitled Love Is Calling. I do want to say this. I want you guys to make sure you join me this Saturday. The reunion premieres on Friday night, but I will be going live this Saturday, and I want you guys to come in and watch with me. So join me this Saturday and check out my community tab page where you guys will see the time that we will go live and watch Ready to Love together, and that way we can discuss it together. All right, guys, let's get into the last episode of this season. Not a lot of drama, finally. Just everyone just winding up their picks and everything from there. I have a lot of opinions about a lot of things, but of course I will get into it in the end. The episode does open up with Winter having everyone toast up to Denise. She does say that Denise and her were very, very cool and that she was going to miss her and that she wanted everybody to toast her up. With that only leaves Winter, Anthony, Rashid, Calfunny, and Adriana. They are the last ones left. And of course, Adriana has to make her decision between Rashid and Calfunny. And of course, you know, this episode, everyone is bringing some form of family member for their potential significant others to meet to decide if they're going to be ready to love with that person. Calfunny does say in his confessional, in that same scene, that him and Rashid have never had any rivalry regarding any woman there, but mainly regarding Adriana. And I'm assuming that is because, you know, it takes two to have a rivalry. And I feel like Rashid has never felt like he needed to be in competition with anybody. We all know, we all saw, there were plenty of women that were interested in Rashid as well as Calfunny, but unfortunately, as we get into the episode, Rashid put his eggs in one basket and he should have explored his options, which, as I stated before, I always feel like him and Denise would have made a great connection. Adriana does say her father is coming, and she lets everyone know that her father is a therapist and a preacher. So that should be interesting to see. In the next scene, looks like it may be another night, but we do see Adriana and Rashid. They talk one-on-one. Looks like they're talking about their situation. Rashid is basically saying how he went from basically being what she called her boyfriend to him and Calfunny on the same level. So he basically is trying to get an understanding from Adriana and how that happened. Y'all know with Adriana, she never answers a question up front. She does talk around the question, which I can't stand people that when you ask them a question, they talk around the answer instead of just saying what it is. Someone that is mature and is going to want to articulate something, even if it hurts your feelings or not, they're going to know how to articulate it to get their point across so it doesn't hurt your feelings, but they're going to go ahead and tell you the truth. But basically, she talks around the whole situation. She pretty much tells Rashid that he is safe and Calfunny was something that she's never explored before. She's pretty much saying to Rashid at that point, you're safe, I'm used to you, I kind of want to do something different, which she kind of was giving her answer to him. Calfunny makes me feel like a teenage girl full of lust, and you are too safe, and I basically don't want safe because that means I'm going to have to be more responsible in relationship and be more serious. In the next episode, in the next scene, Winter is sitting outside and Winter's sister Keisha comes to meet Anthony. First off, I have to say this, despite they have two different complexions. When I was watching this scene, I had to keep telling my daughter, who is talking? Is that Winter talking or her sister Keisha? They have the same face and they have the exact same voice. So it kind of sounds like Winter was having a conversation with herself. Anthony finally comes up and meets Winter's sister. You can tell she likes Anthony. She likes his vibe. She's saying ultimately he can come to the cookout. I guess that's a big accomplishment with their family. She does ask Anthony, has he ever been in love? He gives her the same answer he's been giving Winter. Basically, I had my football career. I don't want to leave anybody on. So basically, I've been protecting my heart and protecting anybody else from getting hurt. And she does ask him, does he want to be married? He also says he sees the potential to fall in love with Winter. I have a feeling, guys, that eventually, if they continue something, that it may not be as strong as it seemed like it's going to be when they leave the resort. I think Anthony might get in his head a little bit and may want to slow stuff down a little bit more, despite Winter is ready to move. Anthony ends up leaving, and then ultimately Keisha says she likes Anthony, and it looks like he is in a place where he's open to love. In the next scene, we see Adriana, and she meets Cal Funny's parents. It's like they're sitting at, I don't know if it's that dog thing, they're sitting on the water. They're sitting having lunch or whatever, and his mom asks her, why does she like Cal Funny? And the first thing she says out of her mouth is that she says everyone liked Cal Funny. Basically, if you read and discern that there, she basically is saying that I like Cal Funny because everybody else liked Cal Funny. And from the very first episode into the introduction episode, she basically says straight up that she is a competitive person. So maybe that's why she really liked Cal Funny, because she wanted to win him. Of course, Adriana doesn't really answer that question, but to me, she answered the question in saying what she said about everyone liking Cal Funny. Cal Funny mom does ask how would she feel about the fact that he has a kid and her being a parent. Of course, she doesn't answer the question again. She basically says she loves to have a big family and she would be ready for that. So she doesn't really say how she feels, like if it's like an important thing or if it's going to make her nervous. You know, things that parents want to hear or people want to hear you answer the question. She just basically says she wants a big family. So that does not necessarily mean you want a family with Cal Funny. You just basically said you want a big family. Adriana does leave and walk away. Cal Funny mom does say she seems nice. She has positive energy. Cal Funny does say that after all of this, her meeting the parents and kind of winning them over, he likes her even more and she is winning. Of course, she's going to be winning, Cal Funny, because she's the only person there left for you. In the next scene, I do notice, now just to let you guys know, if you watch the episode, it does go back from Cal Funny's parents talking to Adriana to Rashid talking to his sister in a video call, but I didn't want to go back and forth. So Rashid does a video call with his sister. He basically says in his confessional that he didn't want to bring his sister to the resort if he was feeling like he was about to bow out and leave. He says to his sister he wasn't sure if he wanted to continue the process. He feels as if he has to sell himself at this point to convince her that he's the one. Basically, he is saying that he feels like he is going from the process of courting Adriana to basically chasing her. And he feels like if he has to do that, and if it went to that he'd rather remove himself from the process. So basically, Rashid is saying, I've showed you who I am. You knew probably a little bit of who I was before you came to the resort. I showed you who I am. So I am not going to continue chasing after you and fighting for this. So he felt like probably that she was going towards Cal Funny. He asked his sister if she would like to speak with Adriana. Pretty much says, based on what he said, that she doesn't feel the need to have to meet Adriana, and tells Rashid to follow his guts. In the next scene, looks like it's the next day or maybe later on that night, we do see Winter and she meets Anthony's sister. Anthony's sister is very pretty. He says Tanya is his best friend, and if you don't get along with the sister, then there is no such thing as a relationship that's going to ensure. So when he was talking this, I was like, Winter gets along with everybody, so she would be fine. The sister does say Winter is very, very pretty. I can't remember how this came up in the conversation. I didn't write it down in my notes, but she was saying that with Anthony, he's always been proclaiming that he is single. And basically, Anthony was pretty much saying, I'm going to always call myself single until I feel like I have a connection to open up to. He did make a statement and says he doesn't like to be rushed. She does say that he is an honest person and that the way he talks about Winter is different. So basically, she's not saying that he's not ready to love. He's basically saying if he's already told you this is what he's open to, he's opened himself up to you, just trust it and believe it. She basically said that if they're meant to be, God will open it up and allow them to walk into the relationship they're supposed to be in. That was that. And of course, Tanya does like winter. In the next scene, there's Calfunny and Adriana. They're just hanging out on the couch. Basically, he asks her about what is the difference between him and Rashid. She says she doesn't have an answer for him, but she goes into fluff talk. She goes into a lot of fluff talk about the birds flying in the sky. Okay, no, she doesn't talk about the birds flying in the sky, but she might as well be, because nothing she says in a sentence connects. So next. In the next scene, Rashid talks to Adriana. At this point in the confessional, you can tell Rashid is about to bow out, okay? Pretty much says in his confessional that he can respectfully remove himself from the process because his good guys is telling him that she ain't it. He tells her he feels like he keeps trying to prove himself to her. And Rashid is a good guy. Seems like good guys finish last, but hey, we'll get more into that. Anyway, he says he'd rather remove himself from the process if he has to keep chasing her. Who wants to waste their time running behind somebody? Rashid is 42 years old. He was in a 10-year marriage. He is divorced. He has worked on himself. Rashid does not have time to play games. He already knows what he wants. So at this point in his life, I know I'm going to be married again, that I want to be married again. So at this point, I'd rather remove myself instead of keep chasing behind somebody who really don't know what they want, tossing with this one person, and then all of a sudden the one that's really for me, it gets delayed because I'm wasting time over it. She says she feels as if like he's giving up. Sometimes people see what it is. What I just said, he sees what it is. He ain't giving up. He didn't already fought. He cut his connection with Simone. He cut his connection with Alex for you, okay? So he ain't gave up. He's been fighting, but you see what you see, and you got to keep it pushing. Now, she ultimately says to him that, you know, of course, he needs to fight for what he wants. She also says that she ultimately wants him to stay to meet her father. Of course, he agrees. Rashid, you should have ran when you had the opportunity. She and Calfunny are the same person. I've said this in several videos. You attract what's in you. They are basically the same. They're competitive people. They don't want nobody to dump them. They want to be the one to cut their ties with you, to say that I was the one that cut my ties with you. So we go to the next scene, and this next scene is back and forth. So we have Rashid and Calfunny both meet Adriana's father. Of course, they meet separately, but the scenes are cut in between. Calfunny does say with the questions that he's asking, like, are you human? What makes you human? Calfunny said he feels like he is being psychoanalyzed. Understand that. He asked them to name 10 things they value. Of course, they say honesty, God, trust, liability. I think Rashid said travel, dependability, and a whole bunch of other things. Calfunny does remove himself from the meeting with the father by saying he has a meeting, knowing good and well he is at a resort. He doesn't have a meeting unless he has a business call or something. But Adriana does say in her confessional that Calfunny just pretty much made that up. Rashid does leave. I noticed though that when Rashid left, of course the father was watching. He hugs Adriana. You can tell their connection is lost. The way he hugged her was the way he was hugging one of the other ladies. Like if he decided to hug Naya and Naya was leaving for the night, that's the kind of hug, because there was no love connection there. So she basically asked her father his opinion, and of course it does go to commercial at that point. So when we come back from commercial, it does show Adriana talking to Rashid. So we don't see the conversation that Adriana's father had. Her face tells the whole thing that she has something to talk about. It just feels like a whole act. It feels like a bad movie. It just feels like a whole act. She knew good and well that she was going to do what she decided to do with Rashid a long time ago. She's just been wanting someone there to fight for her. Basically, she starts by saying that her father does say that he really likes Rashid and his maturity and things like that. The father basically says she doesn't see the love connection or the chemistry that Rashid and Adriana have. Pretty much at that point, she tells Rashid that she is just going to just go for Cal Funny at this point. Rashid, being the mature man that he is, guys, let me tell you something. Rashid is a catch, guys. Ladies, y'all there in Houston, y'all better send him some messages in his DM. Rashid is a catch. Rashid says he understands and don't worry about him. Worry about herself. He didn't say that in a nasty way. He pretty much was saying, don't be feeling sad because you sent me home. You made the right decision for yourself. In his confessional, he says that he knows that she was not the one for him. And Rashid is gone, guys. Let's say goodbye to Rashid. So there's just Anthony and... oh, his name is Cal Funny. I'm sorry, guys. Anthony and Cal Funny left. Basically, in the next scene, we see Anthony and Winter talking. Winter basically says to him to pretty much decide, and he does say, once I commit, I commit. I didn't feel like going too much in detail with that because it's the same conversation. I don't know if it's editing because this cast keeps blaming production for everything, which I don't understand why people don't look up and watch other reality shows before you sign up for a show. If you don't want to be cut a certain way and you don't want to be told what to say in a reality show, you know, they had to start scripting certain things because stuff used to get too far out of hand. I felt like the type of woman that Winter was, and even though Edwin wanted Joy, Winter to me is on a superior level as a woman. And I felt like, I hope she really knows who she really is. Everybody says it, everybody goes through things, but you know, people always say they seek God and they know this, that, and the other, but sometimes you got to really truly seek and see who you really are, because you won't have to ask certain things unless production is telling you to ask these questions. You won't have to ask certain things to a man if where you stand. You don't even have to ask that to him. They're going to show it regardless, which means you have to think a little bit more higher of yourself, because from what I see, Winter is a catch. Gorgeous lady, nice personality. She has a nice spirit, you know, just overall the package is what people would say. To me, I actually felt like her connection was more with Edwin if they both was really open to exploring it. I don't know if something happened and they didn't show it, the reason why they really didn't connect. With what Winter likes to do with guys and how she likes to pour into them and help build them up, Edwin would have been that person for her. He was already open to love, and if they really explored it, which she was looking more at Jay, he was looking more at Joy. That's just my opinion. You guys tell me in the comments if you agree or not. All right, so we get close to the end of the episode, and of course, Nephew Tommy is wrapping up everything. Of course, we all knew that Joy and Jay were probably going to be the third couple, but of course, due to the circumstances with Joy's sister, that they couldn't stay. We see Winter and she's sitting there in the next scene waiting for Anthony. Of course, Anthony shows up. It's really nothing too much to talk about. They end up together. She's really happy that she was chosen. He tells her he is ready to love her and he is ready to love Winter, and they kiss. To me, they don't have a connection, but as they keep saying, production didn't show their connection from day one. Let me tell you something about me. I can read your energy and I can discern very well. You can put on a facade and act as much as you want to act. In reality, or wherever you want to do is say what you got to say. I'm going to read what I read, and what I pick up that there's no connection there. But if you want to force it, hey, go ahead and force it, guys. I don't know if you guys ever watched Game of Thrones, and in the last season, Daenerys and Jon Snow were a couple, but in real life, they're best friends, and she's best friends with his wife. And so they have a chemistry, but they deny their chemistry because they don't want things to be awkward. So it comes on screen like they're forcing their relationship to play out on the screen. So that's what it kind of feels like. Two actors that don't really have the romantic chemistry, forcing a chemistry. In the next scene, we see Cal Funny. He's walking towards Doc. He says in his confessional that Adriana has told him to meet her there. Doesn't know what she's gonna say to him. So Adriana, he does turn around and you see Adriana walking up. This is the best we've ever seen Adriana look this whole time. She has the eyelashes done. She had her makeup done. She had a nice pretty gold dress that looked nice on her complexion. She shows up and he's like, oh wow. Oh, Adriana, you look so great. I'm sorry, I'm just not feeling Cal Funny. Said that in my first episode that I reviewed with the casting special. Said I didn't care too much for Cal Funny. She basically tells Cal Funny that she has chose him over Rashid. Of course, he is happy. They hug. He says, "Oh, baby, I can't believe it. Oh, I'm so happy." It just feels, you guys talk to me. Please talk to me. And the few people that talk to me in the comments, thank you. It lets me know I'm not crazy. But guys, talk to me and let me know. Am I just being mean because I didn't really care too much for Adriana? It's just, I don't know. It just seems all fake. You know, in that same scene, she does pretty much say that, "I can't believe it. Everybody wanted you and you picked me." And I'm just like, oh, gosh, I'm tired of that voice too. But anyway, looks like at that point, while they're happy, Winter and Anthony are approaching them and they're hugging each other, saying, "Hey, we're the last two." It's funny because they're both were Denise's top 1 and 2 choices, but not funny in a ha, like, ha, that's what you get, like, huh, something, that's something. They all get in a boat and they sail off down the river. I will say that as far as my picks for the women, I did pick Adriana, Joy, and Winter in my top 3. Please go back and watch first episode I reviewed. I do list my top picks. It's nice to see 2 of my top picks, despite if I care for one of them or not. 2 of my top picks did make it. And I did have a prediction with Jay and Cal Funny being in my top for the men, and Brian, only because the ladies seemed like they were swooning on Brian in the beginning. And of course, it just ended up being just Cal Funny. Anthony, I had him nowhere in the top. Let me tell you something. Once I seen that video, he was twerking and popping in that video, I was like, there's no way he was going to make it to the end. But hey, I was wrong, guys. We all can be wrong. I honestly thought that Anthony was going home after Sam. I didn't think David was going to go home as early as he did. Pretty much that's the last of the season as far as that. We all know and we've seen after that dramatic reunion is going to be a lot of drama, and I feel like for that, again, I am going to go live with you guys. We're going to watch it this Saturday together. Even if you watched it that Friday, come back, watch it again with me on Saturday so we can talk about it and watch the reunion together. Guys, that's all I have. That is it for season 3, of course, except for the reunion. Again, guys, thank you so much for hanging in there with me. Again, I need you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you'll be notified of new videos to come. See you soon.